Is taking on a team in the middle of the season kind of like jumping into a moving vehicle? I mean, things are going at full bore here. We're in the middle of a season, and here you are just trying to get yourself set. How do you handle that?
Well, it's funny. Our pro scouts were in town for regularly scheduled meetings this week, so I was very fortunate in that regard, and I knew all of them, which was great. But my first question is, what are your duties? Who do you report to? Which teams do you scout? What are your philosophies? So, typically, these are things that if you get hired during the off season, you have several months to get to know people, maybe get to set up the schedule, set up the reporting procedures, and now I'm just sort of diving in and just trying to find out what is happening. And it's going to be difficult to change a lot of things on the fly with respect to scout schedules and how some of the things are operated, how we do things around here. And frankly, it looks like a lot of things are running very smoothly. So right now it's just trying to get to know the people, and fortunately I've done the job before. So I understand kind of the things that need to get done. It's more just getting to know the people and getting to know the team.
So getting to know people might be step one. Would it be safe to say step two is evaluation? You have to, I'm sure you've watched the Flyers from the outside, but really you don't know a team until you see them day in, day out. You see them practice and all that. Is that the next step?
Yes, exactly. And that's why this upcoming road trip will be great. Chance to spend time on the road. You're on the bus, you're on the plane, you're at the morning skate, you're at the practice, and there's not a lot of distractions when you're on the road. You're not in the office, you don't have a pile of paperwork to deal with. So it'll be great. I'm looking forward to it. Again, there's a lot of great people, scouts, coaches, support staff here. They all know the team better than I do at this point, so I'm going to lean heavily on them. And as importantly as it is to get to know the players in terms of how they play, I think it's really important to get to know how they interact with each other, what they're like as people, what their family situations are like. So those are all critical components of knowing a player and running a team.
So evaluating a team in mid-season, do you have any timetable that you've put on it, or is it something you're just going to know when you know maybe what move needs to be made, or if a move needs to be made?
Yeah, oftentimes moves are dictated by the outside too, and by that I mean you get a call, a team is moving so-and-so for whatever reason, and you have to react. So you can't always control the timing. You always can say yes or no to any offer that's out there, but sometimes things are happening whether you're ready for them or not. Or even from a cap perspective, a roster perspective, I mean, you see things start to happen this time of the year. So, I think the important thing now is there'll be daily communication with managers from around the league. There's daily communication with your scouts. You're reading reports. You're around the team, and things happen quickly. And I have decent familiarity with the players here already, but for us, it's about what can we do to make our team better, and I think we'll be in a position to make decisions when we need to. As I've mentioned, though, I would like to see if some of these solutions are in-house before we start making big changes.
It's interesting. Of course, you can't win either way sometimes when you're looking on Twitter. But to see some of the responses, some of the people were afraid when the move was made that, all these prospects are going to get traded tomorrow. And then others want to move tomorrow. They want to trade tomorrow. You can't really worry about that. You have to figure out what's best for the team. But I think what you just said will allay the fears of those fans who feel like all the prospects are going to get traded tomorrow.
No, we're not going to trade all the prospects. And again, Ron and his staff did a nice job, and I counted at least 20 guys that I think legitimately have a chance to play in the NHL. Now, again, not all of them may be superstar players, and not every prospect develops, but that's a lot compared to most teams, and so there should be plenty of assets that we can keep to be part of our core going forward, and hopefully there's some that if the right trade comes up, you can maybe have that ability, you have those bullets to make the deal you have to make, and that's the way you have to run it.
You will eventually put your imprint on this team, whether it takes weeks, months, years. What's the identity you want the Flyers to have?
Well, you look at the most successful teams in the league now. I mean, there's a few teams out there that are having a lot of success, but most of them are fast, tenacious teams. And the game has evolved a little bit from a physical standpoint. You still see physicality, but you see oftentimes physicality comes through speed and puck pressure. Like, for example, a team like Tampa, may not be the heaviest hitting team in the league, but they are a very physical team in a sense where they pressure all over the ice. They don't give you any time and space. They skate. They're going forward. They're attacking all the time, and you have to. They force you to make decisions under duress all the time. That's the way the game's going. So you need speed. You need players that want to play fast, even if they're not the fastest skaters. Players that think fast. Players that take time and space away. So we want to be a hard team to play against. And we obviously want as many skill players as we can get, you know. And
that helps, yeah.
The skill players that play hard are, you know, Claude Giroux's a great example. He's a highly, highly competitive guy, but he's skilled. And it's hard to get guys like Giroux. They're not a dime a dozen, but the more players that you can get that can handle the puck, make plays, but, you know, compete, you know, Konechny's another young man. Voracek's a big, strong guy that can lean on you. So there's these types of guys can play to that identity, and those are the type of players we want to find.